Right, it's about that time for you to kick back, relax, and come into the bar. We're talking about the place to be. We're talking music, sports, politics, and everything in between. My name is Shola Rogers, and it's a pleasure to be here.
My name is Ola Delukwo, the one and only. Bid you a warm welcome to the bar this afternoon. This is very interesting Wednesday afternoon because I've been getting my wires crossed though. Well, today is Wednesday, yeah?
Yeah, most definitely.
Just wanted to be sure. It's a very beautiful afternoon today. Welcome you again to the bar. It is, if you're just joining us for the very first time, this is where we give you all the gist about entertainment, sports, politics, and we say everything else in between. Everything else in between can be anything and everything, as you know, as the spirit leads. It just flows. It flows. So it's a very interesting day today because we're going to be talking about a bit of sports. We're going to be talking about entertainment. We're going to be talking politics. There's also a gist here and there about religion. Yeah, it's a very tricky issue, especially in Nigeria. It's a very tricky issue where, to me, we're not even ready yet on that one. Whether we're religious, whether we're a secular nation, whatever it is, yeah. We definitely have about two stories that circles around that.
Most definitely.
So we're definitely going to be talking about all these things and a bit much more as
we proceed.
As we proceed. So let's sit back, relax. Let's just dive right into it. There's AI. There's just about AI. There is
technology. They carry us go where we don't know.
Where we don't know, and then
we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. So on that note, bid you one welcome again and enjoy this ride with us till 4 p.m.
And 8 p.m.
Okay. So very interesting day today, and we're starting from something that got a lot of people talking. It's almost a usual thing in Nigeria and Nigerian sports, especially football. Not let me say football. Nigerian sports generally, how athletes are not being treated properly. It's always a recurring conversation here and there. Something that we hear about a lot, and of course, this was no different when pictures and videos that emerged of the Falconets that just got disqualified. No, not disqualified actually. They just finished their own run in the Under-20 World Cup in Costa Rica. There were videos and pictures of them sleeping on bare floor. At the airport in Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. And of course, the first thing, everybody's reaction was that what are this wonderful, beautiful, young, talented Nigerians? Why are they being treated this way? There's also the story of, I don't know how that got out, wondering how that came out though.
It's obvious how it came out.
Oh?
It is obvious how the story came out. The one you're about to talk about.
Oh, it was? It is?
Yeah. If you're not in the camp, you won't be able to say what you're about to talk about.
True, though. How the players had to be hand washing their jerseys and all that, So those were conversations that obviously got everybody talking. Like, okay, why does this happen all the time? But at this point, I think that for the first time, NFF has something to say. Not to me, not that is completely justifiable, my own opinion though, but I also think that it's something that they have something to say, and I think SR has it, because I'm not sure that I can find it here, the NFF's reply.
Oh yes, so the NFF have broken the issues down into two, and just the way you have done too. For all of us who are outraged about the picture, I was one of the people who felt that way. They explained that they were not in charge of the travel plans for the Falconets from Costa Rica. It's FIFA. It was FIFA that handled it. And of course, there were delays in Bogota and one other city that actually led to the 24-hour layover in Istanbul, Turkey. According to the NFF, they had envisaged that things like this could go wrong. That's why before leaving, they had applied for German visas, like German transit visas for the team.
For the team.
So that instead of going through Turkey, they would have gone through Germany, which would have been easier for them to fly from there to Abuja, Nigeria. So the problem is that they didn't get the German embassy did not issue those visas to them. So for that reason, they have to go with this route, which has now led to this embarrassment. And they are saying, of course, that they were not directly involved with handling the travel plans, so it's not on them. And I'm one of those people who always say that it is fair and okay to criticize people, but we always say we prefer solutions. But again, it's also fair when you hear the other side of a story to know,
but
to balance things out.
But before you continue, I have a question about that.
Yes,
and I'm like, at the end of the day, yes, FIFA might have settled with the travel plans, that the ones that involved, but are we saying that we couldn't find ways to have made this thing easier?
Okay, so
you knew, if all this was going to happen, there was going to be this long delays and all that. Are we saying that NFF could not have provided like some transit accommodation for these people?
Okay, that's a very good question. One, the first thing is that when you get to the knockout stage, you don't know when your team is going to drop out.
Yeah.
So, and FIFA gives you just 24 hours. I don't think they've changed that rule. When you see them hosting any tournament, the instant your team is out, you have 24 hours to leave. They're not going to spend an extra dime on you. You get?
Maybe NFF should have spent that money then.
No, they don't need to stay back.
Okay.
So that was not where the problem was. The problem was that when they got to Turkey, the officials of the team made moves to get them an hotel that would see them stay for that 24-hour leave.
Yeah.
But the Turkish authorities said that Nigeria does not qualify for visa on arrival anymore, that they've removed Nigeria's name from the list of countries that can arrive Turkey and get a visa on arrival, even if it's a transit visa. So for that reason, you are not allowed to step beyond the airport. We all understand how immigration issues are. So for that reason, there is no way they could have gotten an hotel. And even if they had paid for an hotel, they will not gain access into the city.
What I mean is that by the time they had advanced, or even before, whether they had advanced or not, at some point, even if they had won, they will still have taken this route all the way back to Nigeria. That's my question. The way they tried to get German visas, probably tried to apply for Turkish visas as well, just for this sole purpose. I'm sure that by the time you involve the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which probably would have done a few weeks before, involve the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to help in the procuring of visas. It could have even just maybe 1 week or a 1 day visa.
But you know again that, like I said, you don't know when your team is going to.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about crashing out.
One.
Even if they had won, they will still have done this route all the way back to Nigeria. Whatever way.
Two, there is no way they would have known the route that FIFA was planning their trip. It could have been through another country or another.
But they would have had tickets before.
No. You don't have return tickets because you don't even know when you're leaving.
Okay, but I'm sure that by the time when you're going to what's it called, like you said, when you know that, like, okay,
we're not talking about one person traveling. We're talking about an entire team, and we're talking about close to 30 people.
Are we saying that NFF
and you're just going to find 30 seats on any plane anytime?
No, not anytime. No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is no how NFF will not have conversation with FIFA about, okay, by the time these people to me, I see it as lack of planning very early, because by the time you get to a point where, okay, this is the route, whatever time that these people leave Costa Rica, this, how are they going back? All you need is information from FIFA, which would help you do your own planning better. That's where I'm coming from. Of course, FIFA that gave you a ticket for 24 hours after, they couldn't have just gotten those. They would have had, what's it called? They would have had already agreements with airplanes, with airlines and all those. Those are information that you will get. With those information, then you can say that, okay, this is the route they're taking, which would probably would have maybe have been known a week or two before. Then you can say that, okay, maybe the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should help with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Turkey, so to tidy things up. I still think that NFF could have done better.
Well, your views are valid. Your opinions are very, very germane, and there are things that we should all take into cognizance. But based on the little knowledge that I have and exposure that I have, I still don't find the strength to fault the NFF in this arrangement. But of course, we learn every day, and we should get better at whatever we do. I just really feel that on this particular one, I'm cutting them some slack.
Because the truth is, okay, how come Ghana didn't have this issue? How come every other country that...
Ghana won't have this issue because
Why?
Ghana crashed out where they crashed out. So that's not even... Let's talk about people who made it to the quarterfinals and later.
Wow.
Don't bring the Ghanaian team into
Anyway, what was the second excuse for?
It's not an excuse, it's an explanation, because excuse shows that you don't agree. You believe that they're just making
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is yet.
No,
so
no,
what's
I was
the
just talking
excuse?
about
So
your
I will
version,
know maybe
but
it's
it's
an
not-
explanation
it's
yet.
not an excuse.
I don't know if it's an
So
explanation yet.
the other allegations that people have been throwing at the NFF, I'm not going to talk about monetary ones because they didn't bring it up in this. It actually has to do with the provision of the jerseys and the housewares for the players, and the allegations that they didn't give them enough jerseys, so that's why the players had to be washing their jerseys by themselves and everything. Now, this has happened in the past with other teams, not necessarily this Falconets.
Yeah.
We all know that there are lapses at the last.
The Commonwealth that you just finished.
No, at the last Olympics in Japan, there was a Nigerian athlete that actually made a TikTok video of himself washing his jersey that was going to use the next day for the finals. Or I think it was shot put or one of them. We actually did make reference to it then at the boom bar. So we know that a couple of these things have happened, from time to time, and these are the things that will lead people not to trust the administrators of football. I'm one of the people that is always criticizing them when they mess up. But according to the NFF, they gave them 5 sets of jerseys. I think 3 of the home jerseys, which is the greenish one, and 2 of the white. And they said they gave them a vast array of housewares and everything. But after the first match was played, the team sent their jerseys to the hotel's laundry for washing. But when they brought them back, the NFF badges and the FIFA badges on their jerseys had peeled off.
Okay.
And you're supposed to have the full array of those things when you're going for such matches and everything. So to forestall that from happening, the players on their own decided to not send the tops anymore. So maybe they were sending the shorts and other things.
So if it was on their own, how did this story come out?
The story would always come out. We're talking about a place that there are almost 30 people in.
So somebody somewhere was being mischievous.
It's not today. It is not today that people are being mischievous.
Okay.
I digress quickly. Yesterday or so, there was a story that was trending about a lady that said she had been kidnapped and everything.
Yeah.
And the police jumped into it. People were sending, and
they asking for ransom, and they were sending money.
Raising money, only to find out that she was
It was false alarm. Yeah.
It's not just a false alarm alone. She was trying to scam people of money. So basically she kidnapped herself. So are we going to doubt the possibility of mischief and people?
Oh yes,
no.
I agree
we
with
open
it.
our minds when we do these things.
But also there are now 2 sides to it that I don't want to sound like what's it called. But one thing is, another set of people will tell you that it was probably very cheap quality of stuff they made.
It wasn't cheap quality. It wasn't cheap quality. Let's quickly nip that in the bud.
Okay.
I don't go with flimsy things. I go with facts and figures. We have a deal directly with the manufacturers. As against when other teams go out to buy their equipment, the Nigerian national teams, football teams, get supplied directly. Not replicas now, the originals. So there's nothing about cheap quality there.
Just wanted to put it out there because that was...
No, everything you are saying is okay to bring it up because that's why we're able
Okay,
to
so maybe
explain.
there's a problem with it, but it still doesn't change the fact that it might not be now the NFF, it's probably maybe the manufacturer.
It's possible.
They need something needs to be done,
somewhere.
or it
Anything
could be
wrong anywhere.
the way that it was washed. You know, anything could be wrong. It's just very funny if
I'm going to say something.
This is the explanation, and then it still came out.
It's going to come out. I don't want to keep going on with excuses like you said, but it will come out. It is as soon as, look, I've been in camp with players before, and their food was delayed because most of them did not order what they were going to eat on time, and the hotel was a hotel that was housing about 40 people, was not going to just make food without knowing.
Yeah, arbitrarily. Yeah.
So there was a delay of sorts. I think there was a 40 minutes delay. And the next thing is we get calls from outside. People are telling us that
they're not feeding them.
People have not eaten since morning, and this was lunch. So, look, I don't put it past players to be funny. A lot of people are looking for stories. A lot of people are looking for the negative all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a big fan of the current NFF. I speak when they do well, and I speak when they do bad too. So on this one again, I don't see anything that they've done wrong. What I feel is that they need to look into the way the badges were placed on the jerseys. Maybe because usually it's supposed to be from the manufacturer. Because at times they were probably not stuck on well, but the quality of the jerseys is not in doubt. It's the process of putting the NFF and the FIFA badges. Again, what's to stop some very, very terrible laundry attendant from taking those things as mementos and just taking them off and say, I'm going to sell this when these people leave or whatever. Anything could have happened. But I do not doubt the quality of the jerseys that they were given, and I do not doubt the veracity of the story that they said they gave them 5, except the same people who are going to come out and prove this wrong.
Okay. All right. So definitely, if there is an update from that story, we would get on with it. Also, let's move on quickly from that to a bit of entertainment news. There's a news that has been going on for about 2 days now, and I seem to have been forgetting to talk about it. Yeah. On the bar, and I felt it's still relevant, and there are also reactions to it now. So maybe there are no reactions to it yet. Maybe a lot of people have not caught on to it yet. And it's a story of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, where they had officially banned the use of foreign models and voiceover artists in any advertisement space with effect from October 1st, 2022. So, basically, what they're saying that from October now, from audio and visual adverts all over the country, and once it's going to be viewed or it's going to be played, it's going to be viewed or heard in any of all these spaces, in movies, in all sorts of things, they have to be Nigerian voices and Nigerian people. What do you think about it in the first place?
Okay, it's with mixed feelings for me. I, for instance, when the government insisted that some of these reality shows be shot in Nigeria, I supported that. I feel that it's local content. It's more work for Nigerian creators. There's an entire value chain. In the movie productions like reality TV sector that will get business. You know,
Yeah.
and again, it prevents capital flight because
Yeah.
if you're going to go do these things outside, you send money. So it's the same thing with this models and audio voice drops and stuff. Now, I particularly do not like the idea of shooting Nigerian adverts depicting a Nigerian setting outside Nigeria.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Most times they don't get it.
They don't
right.
get it. They don't. 99.
You
most
see
of
them
they
try
don't.
to recreate a Nigerian market. You
Oh
laugh
God,
at the
it's
effort.
horrible.
Like, okay,
It's horrible.
You're trying to recreate a Nigerian market. Okay. How about just shooting in Nigeria?
In the Nigerian market,
You
yeah.
know, I'm paying the models here. You know, even if it's the real market people that you pay.
Yeah.
Let them earn something.
Trust me, some people don't even need money. Some people just want the camera and just want their faces.
You know, so that's if that's the focus, it's not a bad thing because we need to grow our economy and we need to create more opportunities for local talent. But we shouldn't be seen doing that and let it sound like we're trying to spite other people.
Other
No.
people.
So, but I like the idea of growing local talent. Maybe you should have just made it a law that encourages the local production beyond the way the foreign produced ones will be. Like, for instance, if you're shooting here, maybe there's a facility that they can use at a rebate. Like, okay, this is a government space that you can shoot videos, come and do your voice drops and your adverts and your modeling shots and everything for less. You know, maybe you work out a deal with some private entities. And say, take this voucher there and you shoot this thing for less, which encourages people to keep their business local.
Here.
And anybody that still insists on going out, they'll pay a tax on it. That if this is produced outside Nigeria, you're going to pay
You're
tax.
going to pay a tax on it.
Doing an outright ban for creative stuff for me is a little bit hard and harsh and draconian. As much as I want to encourage local, you get. So I hope people will not misconstrue what I'm trying to say here.
I think I get what you're saying. So there's a reaction that I wanted to take. I've seen a few, but this one to me makes sense. Popular Nollywood actor Segun Arinze also doubles as the president of the Association of Voiceover Artists, has now reacted to this development, and he said that it's a welcome development as it would further encourage local industry to thrive. In his statement, he said, well, we say this is a welcome development, is an enabling regulation that favors the local industry, especially at a time when Nigeria is in dire need of sufficient platforms for its teeming youth population. Now, he said that this is a clear demonstration of responsiveness on the part of Archon. It is now left to us in the various guilds and associations to put our acts together and ensure that Nigeria is not only capable of filling all gaps, but the capacity to project these talents to the world.
Man, shout out to Segun Arinze on that one. That's an amazing submission. That's an intelligent way to look at things. And that's also a call.
So it sounds like there was a push from the Nigerian media space to actually want this thing. So now that it is there now, it is now the issue of filling in those gaps, because the honest truth is that there are going to be gaps.
Oh yeah.
So it is now to stand up and now fill it up quickly.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be gaps. Remember when they used to go shoot Nigerian music videos in other parts, especially in Ghana and South Africa? It was a thing then.
Yeah, it was.
These days, the bulk of the videos are shot on Lagos Island. Not just even via anything, Lagos as an echo itself, and you see them, and they're coming up with, and again, they're creating their sets now. Shout out to TG Omori. That guy is phenomenal.
No, Nigerian artists.
A lot of them are good, but at the moment
they're doing teacher Morizi. You know, I think that everybody has time. Remember, there was a time that it was Clarence Peters that was everybody's what's it called? You know, everybody has their own time. I think he's doing. They're doing amazing. Also, I remember there was, I think it was a Mayoku video that it was later that a lot of people found out that it was shot in Kaduna. You know, all these things that there's a lot of material that can be used, but I like what he said, that it is now time to actually step up to this at the end of the day. So let's move on from that. Still talking about media and still talking about music. We're going all the way to the US, where exactly 10 days ago, an artificial intelligence artist by the name of FN Meka. Why are you looking like that? was signed by, which I honestly did not understand the point of it though, but it is what it is. They had signed an AI rapper of the name FN Meka, and
what is AI?
I said the artificial intelligence
Safety
rapper. Now, as of today, we wake up this morning, and because I know that we actually carried that news a few days ago, and wake up this morning, and Capitol Records are issuing an apology after facing criticism for gross stereotypes. So, there is an association that had come out to put an what's it called? An activist group industry called Industry Blackout, that had released a statement saying that they should cut ties with FN Meka, and said that there was a lot of stereotypes from how he looks to the language in his music. They had already released one song anyway. There's some language in his music, and it was literally just racial. It was derogatory to the black community.
Yeah, he had released one song with Capitol Records actually.
Yeah.
After the signing, but he has other songs, So apparently this rapper, this virtual rapper FN Meka, was created in 2019 by two guys who have been using artificial intelligence to generate lyrics based on what is trending and what is raining and what is so the AI just basically pulls different things and creates a song. Now they now give the lyrics to an unnamed rapper, an African American rapper that they have not told us who it is. So he now takes the stuff, just the rap for them, and they lay it over the AI's image, create videos and stuff around that. And they also sell NFTs and other tokens just to make money. Now, funny thing is, the guy has FN Meka, this virtual creation, has over 200,000 followers on Instagram. He has hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, and he's been generating a lot of views and doing viral stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, to the point where they also create, because Instagram is about lifestyle and people, so they also create a virtual lifestyle for him and all. One of the most offensive things that you've seen is how in one of his videos, this virtual rapper is in prison in an orange jumpsuit, and there's a policeman that's beating on him. The policemen go into prisons, they really don't, because it's prison, it's not cell. You get, and again, it has to be a black guy being beaten up by a policeman.
By a policeman, yeah, it's very. There's a lot of that does not look
everything
good.
Everything is wrong with whatever they've done with it, but the guys who created it have made a lot of money from, the image that they created around this virtual rapper, and it is extremely scary where technology is taking us to. If they're going to clamp down on one, and they cancel the deal with Capitol Records, that doesn't mean another record label won't sign him
again.
That doesn't mean they won't decide to still put out more songs like they've been doing since 2019 when they created this AR thing. So I'm just really very uncomfortable with the whole thing, and I'm glad that people spoke their minds. Capitol Records releasing, and they cut the guy loose.
Okay, still talking about a bit of music. Mavin Records has unveiled another artist.
Mavin activated.
Very interesting. What's it called? He already has an EP. I have not listened to the EP though, but I'm not going to talk about the EP here because we're waiting for Friday.
I can't.
No, you can't.
Body.
No, you cannot.
Family.
No,
Kata.
you cannot. You
Kala.
cannot. Thank you very much.
Mentioned the songs, actually.
Thank you. Moving on. I just wanted to put that out there. Friday, we're definitely going to have an in-depth review of that. Also, still quickly before we leave music, Nigeria, Ghanaian artist Shattered Wale surprisingly announced that he was coming on a media tour to Nigeria. How? Did you see that coming?
Did I see it coming? No, I didn't see it coming because, trust me, after all the rants and things that we've done and spoke about, I moved on, and to me, the guy doesn't exist in my world. This is me, a media person, supposed to be neutral on Shatters Wale's matter. I won't be neutral. When you call out an entire nation, you call out an entire country, and you call us derogatory names, and you say that we're this and that, I'm not going to move on until you apologize. And this guy is not going to apologize.
Yeah.
He's so full of it that he would not apologize. Now, this is what's happening. Shatta Wale, you have seen that you actually do need Nigeria after all.
At the end of the day, yeah.
This Ghanaian singer, rapper or reggae, whatever he does, kept on saying how Nigeria was irrelevant and how he didn't need Nigeria to be big.
I really like to watch his interviews and see what they want to ask him.
His music is big in this place and that place, and they don't need us. The truth is, we love Ghanaian music. We love Ghanaian rappers, Ghanaian singers. You know, there are a lot of them that are
doing good.
That we see as one of us. You know, Jews.
There are a lot of them.
Camidor.
There's this guy. King something. King Promise.
King Promise.
Yeah, this new set of.
Even we had a Ghanaian guy go #1 in Nigeria.
Oh yeah,
and for over a week, about 2 or 3 weeks,
and nothing happened. It's really not a big deal.
Kweku the Traveler.
Yeah.
You know, so we love Ghanaian music. We don't have a fight with Ghanaian music, but we have a problem. I say we on behalf of every Nigerian with Shattered.
But you want a fight? Bring it on.
Who wants to be? He wants to be dumb. Like, you want to eat your cake and have it. Like, you want to have your cake and eat it. Shatta Wale, you cannot abuse Nigerians and say you are coming on a tour and it's just business. Business with who? We don't even like your.
We don't want your business. Keep your
Wale,
business.
Stay away. We don't.
Don't worry. Your business.
We love
your
Ghanaian,
country needs a lot of
Ghanaian
business.
Music, we love Ghanaian football, Ghanaian sports. We love Ghanaian food.
We do.
I do. I like my banku. I like kenke. I've had kenke on more than one occasion. You know, dokunu. I've eaten Ghanaian food and I like it. You know, so on behalf of people like me, not people like Dolubo doesn't eat it, but she hasn't tried it. She's not very.
I have tried 1 or 2 of it, and
you've had kenke before.
I've had that black sauce thing that they eat
with the corn thing. And that's kenke.
I don't know what it's called, but
so back to me. Focus on me. I like Ghanaian food. I like Ghanaian people. I like Ghanaian music. I like everything about Ghana, especially the Ankara that comes from Ghana.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah, they make good stuff. You know, I might not like the food, but I like a lot of Ghanaian artists. You know, it's people just want to be silly. I think you just wanted to be silly.
But we don't like
attention.
Shatawale.
We don't like Shatawale.
And we don't like Ghanaian jollof.
Okay, yes, I want to.
We don't.
That's not
Ghanaian
nice.
Jollof #1.
That's not nice too. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Anyway,
the only way we can forget Shatawale is if he comes to Nigeria and eats Nigerian jollof and says this is the best
in
his life.
Well, then we can have the conversation around
about
that.
Him apologizing.
So moving on from that quickly, let's go on to something that I know that there's politics stuff to talk about, but I want to let's switch it up a little bit before we get to politics, because most of the time we talk politics and then we just wave through everything else. Another very interesting topic that we're going to talk about today is about religion, and there are 2 different stories that they're basically just now around religion. And the first one I want to talk about is somewhere in I'm trying to look for where exactly it happened, in Okoba in Lagos State, where an Oro worshipper has now died. And you're wondering, okay, how is that news?
Has been killed actually.
Oh yes, has been killed. And you're wondering, how did that make the news? Why? Okay, the background story is that in this particular area, the Oro Festival still happens, obviously. And we know that, okay, don't let me say we know. For people that do not know, there is always an announcement a few days before about these things happening.
What is Oro for people?
It is a traditional Festival,
Religion.
the religion, the Oro Festival. There's an Oro masquerade that goes out, and then people are not supposed to see it,
Women.
other than the faithfuls, and I think women,
And non-initiates.
initiates. They're not supposed to see it, which at the end of the day is nobody's business. Yeah, everybody does the thing. So they have announced it, but a particular church, Truth and the Spirit Prophetic Church in Lagos State, and had decided on that same day they were going to do a vigil. And we know that the Oro concept is done at night, which I think makes sense, because at that point nobody should be out. Yeah,
It's not necessarily at night alone too, because I've experienced Oro in Ikorodu when I used to live there, and even during the day people don't go out.
but anyway, this one was at night, so which maybe would be a little more tolerable to a lot of people. And this church decides to the pastor of this church and its members decided to do a vigil on that same day, that same night. And then it is said, according to reports, that a particular person, as the Oro procession was happening, one of the Oro worshippers decided to go to the church to tell them to stop what they were doing because there was a procession going on. And then one thing led to another. There were stonings and back and forth. And by the time the police had arrived, and according to the police, they said the distress call they got was that the church was about to be burnt. Only for them to get there, by the time they de-escalated the situation, an Oro worshipper had been killed. And now, the pastor, Mercy Okoch, and 9 members have now been arrested after it is said that they stoned a 25-year-old Oro worshipper to death.
Religion is a very touchy topic, especially in a country like Nigeria, where we're very religious. We put religion up.
Annoyingly religious.
Yeah, we put. Well, I don't know if it's annoying.
It's annoying to me.
But
it is.
But we put religion
above everything else.
And I am worried at the way we're going, that if we continue like this, we might find ourselves in a major religious crisis in this country. And it's not going to bode well for anybody. So let us look for ways to diffuse the tension and make people understand a lot of things that are not as hard as they take it. For instance, you should not be fighting for your God. Like, your God should be powerful enough to fight for itself or himself. I'm trying to say that you cannot play God. You can't do God's work.
I get what you're saying.
Again, we need to understand on the part of tolerance. One of the best videos I've seen this year is a procession of Christians. I think it was leading up to Easter or something. An Aladura church or something. They were having a procession. Maybe it was Easter Sunday or
Good Friday.
Or one of those days.
I think it's always like Palm Sunday that is
Sunday
a procession.
So there was a procession, and on that same road, fortunately or unfortunately, there was a procession of Muslim faithfuls too, who were also coming from the praying ground and everything. Yeah. And they were both, going to a clash somewhere in Lagos here, in the middle of the road. They were going to clash, and they just greeted themselves and continued along the way. Now, the band that was leading the Christian group, the Christian procession, started singing an Islamic song. Oh, Masha, Salah to Russia. That, to me, is the highest level of tolerance and understanding. That what could have led to, why are they here? We've seen it happen before.
Oh, yeah.
And they just...
Everybody is just, and carried on.
And that's the way it should be. Like, again, you also know that you should not encroach on people's spaces and their territories and everything. And could it be that the owners of the church felt that they could not be told when and when not to worship their own God? Could it be that the Oro worshippers felt a slight and also went into the church premises? Because that's you encroaching also. The church encroached when they did what they did. That's the way the Oro people will see it. That you know that nobody should be out at this time. And a lot of people will tell you that, oh, it's 2022 and Oro should not be happening in the city.
Says who?
A lot of people will tell you that. A lot. I've heard it a lot of times. I'm not going to lie. When I was in Ikorodu, it was not so nice because they'll tell you just once a year, and it's 24 hours. It's usually not at night alone. When they start, it's going to be until the next day. You get. So in Ikorodu, it depends on where you're living. You experience Oro 3 times or 4 times. If you live in Igbogbo now, when there's Oro for another part of Ikorodu, you can't go out. If there's Oro for the Ikorodu Central, you can't go. And there's Oro for Igbogbo town, which is where I lived. You can't go out too. You get. In fact, one of the days that I went out, we went through the back roads and everything until we got to the part where there was no Oro. You know? So again, people, there are different ways to look at it, but my own take now is that let us not bring violence into everything. Understanding that when you are, say you're going for your Holy Ghost services and different services, that you also cause a lot of inconvenience for other
exactly the issue I was going to talk about.
When you're going to your Muslim prayers at times, there are times when you also shut down the roads in different parts and everything. So let us try not to disturb each other and understand that you have your own beliefs. Stay true to them. Let me stay true to mine. Let the Oro worshippers stay true to theirs without any of us, having to
encroaching on
the point where someone got
killed. And for me, and this is where I am for even as a Christian, I think that a lot of Christians, or let me put it like this, a lot of so-called Christians do too much. The honest truth is that the vigil that you're having is most likely encroaching on some people's sleep. Not most likely, it is. Except your church is soundproof.
Which is rare.
Which is very rare. Your noise is encroaching on some people's sleep. So that day alone, you're already disturbing some people, whether you want to agree to it or not. As Muslims, you see in a lot of places, if you live beside a mosque, the call to prayer in the morning, early in the morning, is encroaching on some people's peace. But what happens? You don't see people go there to pull those things out, and people are being tolerant about it. We don't like it, but you tolerate it. Even churches, you don't like it, you tolerate it. So why is it a problem that a particular religion says, okay, once a year, you people should not do this, you should not do that? Because there are some churches, let me take for example, that do these vigils every day. Some do every weekend. Some do, or let's take for example, when there is convention, take for example at the Redemption Camp. No, it's now Redemption City, Abi. The amount of the thousands of Nigerians that are being inconvenienced, that have no business with the Redemption Camp, but they're on the Lagos-Ibadan road, that are on traffic for hours. It is people being tolerant, because people can say, okay, this thing has to stop. It's not, but I'm not sure a lot of people, everybody just complain. Some people just complain and everybody just goes on with it like, okay, we move on. Yeah, it's first time. And then what betide you? Maybe you go and then on a Saturday morning, it is MFM's on the day after. Oh God, and you're on the road at that time. Game over. You are like, game over. But it happens. And we deal with it. So why is it a problem that we cannot deal with somebody's Oro? It's their own religion as well. I think it is a lack of intolerance. I don't want to judge people, but there's no explanation on how you tell me that you're a Christian, to the extent that you feel that the next thing is stoning anybody. Talk less of stoning to the person to death. I feel they need to rot in jail.
Well,
That's it.
rot in jail or not, they have been arrested by the police now. The members of the church and the leader of the church have been arrested, and they are definitely going to be charged because the police PRO has already hinted on his Twitter handle that they are going to follow up.
Oh yes,
on the murder investigation. So
I totally agree. I'm all for that at this
we'll
point.
keep tabs on this story and bring you guys updates as we proceed.
Yes. So quickly, still talking about religion. So it is said that there is a particular market in Plateau State where it was burnt down, and after a lot of consultation, there is a public-private partnership with Jais Bank where the State Executive Council had now approved the reconstruction of the market that was burnt down earlier in 2002. And then, out of the blue, the Christian Association of Nigeria, which in my conversation, they're not coming off as a Christian Association of Nigeria, my opinion though, are talking about how the Islamic Bank should not be allowed to rebuild a Christian-dominated market. What does that even mean? Like, at times you read these things and like, who came up? You people actually had a meeting. Because it's almost like as if Khan finds a way to always just be in the news. You just feel like being in the news. Because, I don't know, maybe somebody else needs to explain to me how this makes any sense.
Well, for me, I feel that we do not have to put religion in everything we do.
I don't get it.
Not everything is Islamization, and like the Muslim group said now, Christianization. I think that we should always take things on its merit, and there's this distrust that is growing. It's now mutual. That, oh, you don't trust me, I don't trust you. I don't trust you, you don't trust me. And me and you in this case is Christian.
Okay,
Muslim
so they're building a market. What is that? What will it do?
The market, the Jos main market, in 3 phases will cost about 9.3 billion naira to rebuild. Any organization that invests 9.3 billion naira in a long-term project is looking to at least recoup their investment, if not make profits. Abi? And why would you want to bring religion into such an enterprise?
It makes no sense.
And wouldn't it be a good idea if Khan also came up with his own Christian bank? You know, like Islamic banking is something that we demonize.
Oh, Islamic banking is funding a lot of federal government projects.
But Islamic banking is where you go to borrow money without paying interest, amongst other benefits. And in the Jais Bank that you're talking about, there are Christians working there who earn a living, who take care of their family and also pay their tithes.
It makes no sense.
From working in the Islamic bank. Let us stop looking on ourselves as enemies. We're partners in progress. We're brothers and sisters. We're in this together, for as long as we agree to. But I don't see a problem with, Jais Bank or
anybody at all.
Any bank.
It's because I was trying to think
bank,
of it that
bank.
Okay, so what would Jais Bank do? Will he say that it's only Muslims that they're going to sell to? Or, like, it makes no sense. I'm sorry.
The customers that want to enter the market,
they're only Muslims they would allow. Like, that's my own. Like, I'm not saying that there are not issues. That let's have issues that are going to move us forward and not draw us back. Some things don't even make any iota of sense, my opinion. Anyway, quickly, let's move on. Shout out to my governor of the year. He's 53 today. No, tomorrow, August 25. It's 53 tomorrow. Just wanted to put that out there.
The people who are born in August are amazing people.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
oh
haven't heard
yeah,
before,
oh
let me just
yeah.
tell you.
Oh
That's,
my
that's all I
god.
have to say on that.
Oh my god, we're not going to hear the end of this, are we?
We have actually. At the end of it.
Anyway, let's move on quickly to a bit of politics. Okay, I think we have 10 minutes, so we can do. Now, the People's Democratic Party has reacted to the meeting between a presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, and the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. Nyesom Wike is in the news a lot, as looks like the feud between him and the PDP presidential candidate is still ongoing. It looks like there's still a feud between him also and a lot of PDP people. And according to a source that spoke to Vanguard, on the condition of anonymity, revealed that the meeting was centered around how Wike's campus...
What meeting?
The meeting that he had with Bola Tinubu.
Oh, I didn't hear you mention it. So.
Oh yes, I said that before. Like
Okay.
I said, real that all that. That the meeting centered around how Governor Wike's camp will stay in the PDP and cause crisis in the party.
Okay. Let's be careful how we.
That's a lot.
Hit of the polity. This is a very unfounded and baseless story.
Mm-hmm.
If I may say so myself, and I'm saying so myself. If you're not gonna bring artifacts, maybe like a video recording or an audio recording, please don't say things like that. It's wrong, you know. Then again, talking about the PDP and Wike and all their internal issues, you know, there are ways to handle crisis, and I don't think the PDP is going about it the right way.
Okay.
Again, we are talking about an election that has seen, for instance, now Peter Obi visit Wike twice. The other time it was Peter Obi alone. Last week, Donald Duke, Peter Obi, and a couple of people went there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have seen Governor Umai, who is APC, visit Wike twice.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing the visit of
some APC
Akeredolu,
governors, yeah.
Sanwo-Olu, and the rest of them. So why is the meeting with Tinubu the issue? Because after all, he's met with Peter Obi. In fact, he's met with Kwankwaso.
Yeah, he has. Yes, I agree. He has as well. So why is that a problem?
Everything has been, publicized. So I think the PDP should relax. Except they are really afraid that if he did meet with Bola Tinubu, then they're afraid that maybe that's the candidate.
Also, this PDP spokesperson has now said that the party was not even aware of the meeting.
And that means it's not relevant now. So why are you stressing? You know, why are they stressing? I feel that it's political season and a lot of people are doing a lot of things. One of the things I actually wanted to link to this story is the visit of the SDP candidate, to former President Obasanjo.
Okay, yeah. And
I want to. I wish we get a chance to speak with politicians this period.
Like you see, Peter Obi had gone to see him.
You're all going to see. Tinubu went to see him. Atiku went to see him first.
Yeah.
Atiku went there first. Peter Obi's been there like twice. Tinubu has gone once. The SDP guy has gone. Maybe Showore will go. I don't know. And other people. So when are you going to see Obasanjo? The thing is, there must be something that we don't know about some of these visits that politicians pay to certain individuals. Because again, what do you guys expect him to say? Everybody has come to see him. Is he going to come out to endorse you?
Endorse someone? No.
So the same way you go, he will meet you and talk to you and everything. And it's really getting interesting. We will see how all these meetings in Paris and London,
all these things at the end of the day,
and Kano,
I cannot wait for the
next
year March. Like let March just come and then just move on from all this drama. Personally, really, I'm just tired. Moving on from that quickly, Nigerian students, and you're wondering like, okay, a lot of things that happen, and then Nigerian youth, we have opinion about a lot of things that happen. But how is it that this same there's some very unscrupulous Nigerian youth that still continue to do some very annoying things. Annoying in the sense because it makes no sense, or why we just keep doing things that we do. The Ibadan Zonal Command of the EFCC has announced that they secured the conviction and sentencing of Director of Logistics of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, the Federal University of Oye-Ekiti chapter, and Adeyemi Israel Abiodun to a 1-year imprisonment for internet-related fraud. This particular person is a 200-level student of Economics and Developmental Studies of the university, and is an ex-co of the Nigerian Association in Ekiti, yes, and he's an ex-co of the Nigerian Association of National Association of Nigerian Universities.
Yes. First things first is, if you look at the volume of the crime that they have confessed to, if you look at the amount of people that they might have really dealt with by creating fake US bank checks, basically perpetrating fraud all over the
195 million naira fraud.
Then he gets 1 year.
It's annoying. It is annoying.
You understand? Again, is to forfeit his Bitcoin account that is worth about 58 million or thereabout. The 16 million naira value of his car, the neck chains and ice that he wears, and a couple of things.
Oh my God, we're just very interested. Some of them got
community service and 6 months and everything. I said to myself, how serious are law enforcement people about stopping crime?
I think it's unfair
if there are other lesser crimes that get longer sentences.
Yeah.
How does a guy who has confessed to a crime that is worth close to 200 million naira getting a 1-year sentence? The fact that he's a student or not.
I even feel that is unfair on the agencies that catch these people, because how they do all this work, go through investigation, do all this, and then they literally pass it on to the judiciary, and then this is what comes out of it. I think
someone has stole 198 million naira worth of
I think it's unfair on these people.
Innocent
I just think it's unfair.
And he gets 1 year sentence.
1 year sentence. So, we will definitely see if there's an update or whatever. I don't think there will be anyway. But lastly, before we go, it has been disclosed that MTN Nigeria is rolling out its 5G network in 5 states. They're starting with 5 states around the country: Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, and Kano states.
What happened to Ibadan? It's always Ibadan in the mix.
Okay.
Shout out to MTN. The other company that got the 5G license are not ready. There's some kind of delay in the process, and 5G that they so much demonized and said
that it was COVID, it was causing COVID, and it's here now. I hope that all those people that demonize it, I hope they will not use 5G though.
They are all going to use 5G, all of them. So shout out to MTN and the government for bringing it this next level.
It definitely is needed. And on that note, that's all we'll be able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time. But you can actually go back to watch this on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Boom Radio NG. You like, you subscribe, put a comment there, put a nice comment though. We'll always be here Monday to Friday on Boomba, but we're definitely not leaving you. There's a lot of music, there's still news coming up, and a lot of other programs that are still going to be back again. But till then, enjoy and have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.
At 9 o'clock, you will have reggae music tonight.
Okay.